What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look back down memory lane for myself anyways, and look at my old Nintendo DS and 3DS collection. So I'm going to show you guys all the consoles I have and all the games that I have as well. I do have a lot more cases sitting in a box somewhere in storage. So these were all the cases I could find just easily for the purposes of making this video, but I'll point out which other games I have cases for that I know I have cases for sitting in a box in storage. So anyways, let's get into the collection here. All right, so here is a bit of a jumbled up mess. I have lots of stacks of games right across here for the 3DS and the DS, and then I have my consoles as well. So let's start with the consoles. Got to start with the old reliable Nintendo DS Lite. This I got lots of miles on. It was a phenomenal console, and it's still like, unfortunately this one isn't in great shape. Like having the white, I mean, you got the fading of basically just dirt and grime, sweat from the fingers and stuff. And then I don't know if this has charge right now. Yep, it does, but I'll show you that the bottom screen doesn't work. So the bottom screen is fuzzed out. It's glitching out, must be a short somewhere. So unfortunately my childhood DS isn't in the greatest shape. At some point I should see if I can buy maybe a new case for it, new casing for it, and also a new bottom touchscreen and replace this guy, because it would be nice to fix it up and get it working in proper order again, because right now with the bottom screen not working, it's only really good for Game Boy Advance games. And of course I have my Game Boy Advance SP, which I mainly play my Game Boy games on anyways, just because I like the SP more than the DS to play Game Boy Advance games on for whatever reason. I honestly couldn't tell you, other than just I like the feel of the Game Boy Advance. But yeah, that is my Nintendo DS Lite. So now I guess we'll go in order of when I got these consoles. Next is my DSi XL. Very, very big. Very, very big system itself, and there is a game in it. Pokemon White. All right, but yeah, my DSi XL. This one I got, I can't even remember. It was slightly just before the 3DS came out, and it's an awesome console. Like, I love the massive screen. It is just incredible to play games on a much bigger screens, I guess I should say. And it's honestly a phenomenal console. I would have loved to have gotten a 3DS XL as well, or a 2DS XL. But unfortunately now they're going through the roof. The 3DSs are so sought after, it seems. It's ridiculous how expensive they've gotten. And yeah, so I probably won't be picking up a 2DS XL or a 3DS XL anytime soon anyways, unless if I came across some ridiculously good deal locally or something. But yeah, that is my DSi XL. Now next, we have my 3DS. The very first 3DS, there's Attack of the Saiyans was in it. My very first and only 3DS, and this was the very first generation of the 3DS. I really, really like this still. I never really played games with the 3D effect on, but I did really, really like the analog stick that they added with the 3DS. And then of course you kept your D-pad. I found the D-pad like area where they put it on the console, the D-pad, I guess placing of the D-pad on the console, very awkward to use. Like, have to have my thumb down here to use the D-pad. So no, the analog stick is definitely the way to go on the 3DS. And that is my Nintendo 3DS. All right, now let's get into the small amount of cases that I do have, starting with Metroid Samus Returns for the Nintendo 3DS. This game is absolutely phenomenal, and we'll run into it in a little bit here. Then we have Dragon Ball Fusions, another fantastic game, honestly one of the most underrated Dragon Ball games. And then we got Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. That game's incredible, just a good remake of the old Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga from the Game Boy Advance. Then we got Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. This game is still sealed, as you guys can see there. Still sealed, so I haven't cracked this one open. Would love to play it eventually. I'll definitely have to get into that game eventually. I've heard it's one of the best Mystery Dungeon games in the whole series. And then we got Mario and Luigi Dream Team for the 3DS as well. This one's also sealed. Haven't cracked that one open or played it before. And then we got Super Smash Brothers for 3DS. This one, I got it played super cheap before the 3DS eShop closed. And honestly, it's a lot of fun. Smash Brothers on the go. It's really, really fun. And I was surprised at how well it actually handled and the visuals looked for the 3DS. So honestly, really, really good game in Super Smash Brothers. And then my only DS game case I have is Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans. But we'll get into some of the more, as we get into these big stacks of games, we'll dive into more of the cases that I know I have for some of these games because they're just sitting in storage. These were the ones that were sitting on my Switch shelf, my Nintendo shelf, I guess I should say, because there was also Wii games on that shelf as well. So yeah, let's get into all these stacks of games here. So we got DS, small stack of 3DS. Might as well even this stack out. 2 stacks of 3DS, 3 stacks of DS games. So Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans is on top. Phenomenal game. It is an incredible turn-based RPG based off of Dragon Ball Z, of course, and it happens from the events between Dragon Ball anime and Dragon Ball Z anime, so it's really, really cool. It focuses on, you get to see Tien, Krillin, and Yamcha a little bit more. It was just phenomenal. Nice little filler between the animes, and I really, really enjoy this game. It is phenomenal. I would love to make a video on it in the future. Next we have Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. I didn't mind this game, but just the use of the stylus in it, on the DS era, like, I just hated when games made you use the stylus to move characters around. And I honestly just didn't really like the stylus movement for some games. So it was okay, but not one of my favorites. Then we got Cartoon Network Racing. This game, I remember being mediocre. It was a fun little kart racer. Nothing crazy, just, yeah, Cartoon Network characters racing game. And we got Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam. This game is honestly incredible. All those old Tony Hawk games were just phenomenal, and they are so nostalgic. Incredible game. Crash of the Titans. Handheld Crash games are all right. They're nothing crazy. I still like the original Crash games, the original 3 Crash games the best. Any of the newer ones that they were releasing around the DS era and stuff and Game Boy Advance, they were okay, but nothing crazy. Star Wars The Force Unleashed. For the DS, it definitely was limited. There's better ways to play this game for sure, like on the 360, even on the Wii. But it was still not too bad for a handheld Star Wars game. Then we got Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. I remember really, really enjoying this game. It was a lot of fun little mini games, Olympic-based mini games, and yeah, just a Mario and Sonic game, so you know what to expect with those. And then Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. I absolutely love this game. It was incredible. Honestly, it's up there. Bowser's Inside Story and Partners in Time are my 2 favorites in the whole Mario and Luigi series. And next we have Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. So those 2 games are my 2 favorites out of the entire Mario and Luigi series. I really, really like Superstar Saga for the 3DS as well. But the original Superstar Saga, I remember being a bit of a grindy game. I did borrow it from a friend when we were kids and played through it a long, long time ago. And I just remember it being a little bit of a grindy game, but still lots of fun nonetheless. And then Pokemon Ranger. It was an alright game, nothing crazy. Well, these spin-off Pokemon games were always different for sure. I never played Pokemon Conquest. That was another spin-off, but the Ranger games were okay. And then we got Star Wars Battlefront Elite Squadron. Honestly, don't really remember much of this game, so probably tells you that I didn't play it a whole lot, but yeah, another handheld Star Wars game. So that is one stack out of the way. Now let's move on to the next one. We'll have lots of more Pokemon games in this entire collection. Pokemon White, I do have the case for this game. I know I do. Pokemon White, Black and White are phenomenal games. If you guys haven't played them, they're some of the best in the Pokemon series. The story is really, really good. And I just absolutely love Pokemon Black and White. Honestly, after Black and White, for me anyways, that was kind of when the series started to go downhill a little bit. Like the most recent Pokemon games on the Switch have been okay. I didn't really care for Sword and Shield, and I didn't really care for Scarlet and Violet. They were okay, but they're kind of, those Pokemon games were the kind of ones, and the recent ones are the ones that I play through once and then never touch them again, because I haven't went back to Sword or Shield, and I haven't went back to Scarlet and Violet. But Black and White I have played so many times, just like I have with Platinum, Pokemon Platinum, Pearl, Diamond, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, all the Game Boy Advance ones, Fire Red being my favorite, Fire Red and Leaf Green being my favorite versions, and then Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald being my second favorites. The GBA Pokemon games are just my favorites, and they're games I always go back to and always find myself going back to. Then we got Pokemon White 2. So this was the first time in the series where they actually had a sequel. Yeah, basically a direct sequel, because there was, of course, in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, there was like, yeah, the battle against Red at the end of the game. So there was connecting universes, I guess. But Pokemon White 2, phenomenal game, incredible story, continuing from Black and White. Now this Beyblade game, Beyblade Metal Fusion. I remember not enjoying this game. I just remember getting so bored with it so quick. Yeah, maybe it's a game I need to dive into again and try again, but I just remember getting so bored with it. Then we got New Super Mario Brothers. Incredible game. Honestly, absolutely love the side-scrolling Mario games. They're just so much fun. Nothing much else to say. Incredible game. I've played it many times. And then Mario Kart DS. My brother and I used to do the download DS play and play this all the time on road trips and stuff. Mario Kart DS honestly is up there for one of my top favorite all-time Mario Kart games. DS was just phenomenal. And then we got Pokemon Pearl. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, phenomenal games. I mean, I know Platinum's better. Platinum just had more to offer. It was, for one thing, you had a lot more fire types to choose from, because in Pearl version and Diamond version, the only fire type you'd have basically through the main story, if you didn't choose Chimchar as your starter, was Ponyta. So yeah, they definitely did a better job with Platinum in introducing more Pokemon, but still Diamond and Pearl, phenomenal games. I still like that Cynthia final champion battle a lot more in Diamond and Pearl than I did with the Platinum Cynthia battle. That's my own personal opinion, of course, but Diamond and Pearl, incredible games. I really, really love the Gen 4 Pokemon games as well. Lego Batman, the video game, there's definitely better ways to play this game as well. The DS version just graphically didn't look very good, but it was a lot of fun. I remember enjoying it, but definitely playing it on the 360 would have been a lot better. Sonic Classic Collection. I'm kind of like a hit and miss Sonic fan. Like I like the original, like all the old games from the Sega Genesis. I love Sonic CD, and but then other than that, like the recent Sonic games have just, I don't know, I've kind of fell out of it a little bit. I did get Sonic Origins for my Switch, and I did really, really enjoy that. But again, that's classic Sonic. I love classic Sonic, and Sonic Generations, honestly, probably the only Sonic game, like new Sonic game, well, newest Sonic game I've played. Like I haven't played Frontiers. I got Superstars, I guess. I still haven't played it though, but I definitely want to play Sonic Superstars. But yeah, classic Sonic, I just absolutely love. Now Kirby Superstar Ultra. This game was fantastic. It was just a DS remake of, I believe, Kirby Superstar. So that's why they added the Ultra in. It's just a really, really fun game. Classic Kirby style game. You know, not much to say there. If you played Kirby, you know what I mean. And we got WarioWare DIY. I absolutely love this game. It was so much fun. The old WarioWare games, handheld, were just phenomenal. And this one was, I've spent so many hours playing and building random music tunes in this game because I really, really liked creating a bunch of different music tunes and stuff. It was a lot of fun. All right, let's get into this last DS stack and then we'll go newer with the 3DS. So, throwing games around. Here we go. Super Mario DS, Super Mario 64 DS. I love this game. It was incredible. Adding Wario, Luigi, Yoshi as playable characters to the original Super Mario 64. And it was just so much fun to have handheld Mario 64 on the DS. Like, it's such a good game. If you guys have never played it, I highly recommend you play it. I absolutely love this game. Now we got another Pokemon Pearl version. Yes, I do have 2 Pearl versions. So, yeah, there's Pearl. And then we got Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of Time. I remember liking this game a little bit, but I had Blue Rescue Team and I sold it years ago. I did sell quite a few of my DS games years ago, and that's one I really, really regret. I was really, really glad when they brought back Rescue Team DX on the Switch. That remake of Blue Rescue Team and Red Rescue Team was phenomenal, and those are my favorite Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, is Blue Rescue Team and Red Rescue Team. And yeah, I've regretted selling Blue Rescue Team for a long, long time. But Explorers of Time, another really, really good Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game. I've heard I believe it's Explorers of Sky. I can't remember. You guys can let me know down in the comments. That other one that they had made, I heard that one was better. It was kind of like, your typical Platinum's better than Diamond and Pearl. They did revisions, and a lot of people think Emerald is better than Ruby and Sapphire because they did revisions. And yeah, so anyways, Explorers of Time, still a really, really good game. Just, yeah, I regret my favorite Mystery Dungeon game of all time was Blue Rescue Team, and I regret selling it. Pokemon Black version. Again, Pokemon Black and White are incredible. Not much to really say there. Same thing as White version, just different Pokemon version, exclusive Pokemon, and different legendaries at the end of the game. But Pokemon Black version, absolutely incredible. Now we got a lot more Pokemon. Here we go. We got quite a few more Pokemon games to go through. Pokemon Soul Silver version. Heart Gold and Soul Silver are fantastic. I still love them. From the music, like the champion theme against Lance is one of my favorite champion themes in the entire series. The Kanto Gym Leaders themes, I absolutely love the Kanto Gym Leaders theme as well. Like, the music is incredible. The game was incredible. I mean, you had your Pokemon follow behind you, right? Like, that was really, really cool. That was so cool when I was a kid, throwing out your Pokemon at the front of your party and then having them follow you, right? Like, that was so cool. Incredible remakes of Gold, Silver, and Crystal. I would love if they would remake Gold, Silver, and Crystal again on the Switch. Like, oh man, I love the Johto region. One of my favorite games of all time, for sure. Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Then we got Diamond version. Not much to really say here again. Same as Pearl version, just Dialga is the legendary rather than Palkia. Still love this game. Incredible game. And then we got Pokemon Heart Gold version. So same thing as Soul Silver. I love this game. I just wish they would bring back the Johto region, remake the Johto Gen 2 games again on the Switch. Do everything the same that they did. They don't need to change anything up. Just, do a nice new graphics update and everything. Keep the Pokedex the same. Keep the Pokemon in each route the same. And have Pokemon follow you again. That was really, really cool. Do everything the same that they did with these remakes, and it would be super successful. Then we got Pokemon Platinum version. I absolutely love this game. Incredible. the Cyrus battle before you take on Giratina. Giratina is one of my favorite battles in against the like any team in any Pokemon game. Like you got all the Team Rocket battles against their admins and stuff, and then Team Galactic, Cyrus. I just really like that final battle against Cyrus before you take on Giratina. And that Giratina battle was incredible as well. And I absolutely love the post game in this game where you can take on all the gym leaders again, and you can go around, of course, the whole entire battle zone and everything. I can't remember if that's exactly what it's called, but you know what I mean. There's a survival area and all that stuff. I just love the after game in the Gen 4 games. And yeah, Pokemon Platinum, incredible game. We got Bakugan. I remember really liking this game. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I used to love Bakugan when I was a kid, and I have a pile of old Bakugan sitting somewhere back at my parents' place, and yeah, this game I remember really enjoying. So I wonder if the console versions of these games are any good. If you guys have played them, you'll have to let me know down below, because they're probably pretty cheap. And we got Black 2, same deal as White 2, sequel to Pokemon Black and White. Phenomenal game, really good story. The Black and White games have some of the best story in the entire series. Absolutely love this game. And last of our DS games, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. I remember enjoying this game. I sadly sold Dead Man's Chest. I had Dead Man's Chest for the DS, and I remember loving that game. My nostalgia's probably shading my actual memory for how good it was, but I remember enjoying this game as well. I can't remember if the Pirates of the Caribbean games were actually any good, but could just be my nostalgia shadowing my actual memories, but I do remember enjoying them. All right, that's done with the DS games. Now let's move on to the 3DS games. All right, so we got most of these 3DS games I actually have cases for. I forgot to mention a bunch of the cases, so I know I have the case for Pokemon Platinum. I know I have my Soul Silver case. I know I have my Heart Gold case. I know I have my one of my Pearl cases. I know I have my Black and White cases, my White 2 case. I don't think I have my Black 2 case. I know I have my Super Mario 64 DS case, my New Super Mario Brothers case. I know I have Bowser's Inside Story case, and yeah, that's most of them. I know I have Lego Batman case as well. But yeah, those are a bunch of the cases I have. I know I have Pokemon Sun case. Pokemon Sun was all right. It was very different from how typical Pokemon was, right? Like you didn't have gym leaders, and you were becoming the first champion of the region, which was cool. It was a nice breath of fresh air. I did really enjoy Sun and Moon. So yeah, that is Pokemon Sun, and later on we'll have Pokemon Moon. So Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Gates to Infinity. I never beat this game. I remember playing it, I don't know, maybe for a few hours, and I just honestly got bored with it. It wasn't, I don't know, maybe I need to give it another try, but I just remember not really being into it. I know I have the case for this game too, so I should give this game another try. Then we got Pokemon Y. Pokemon X and Y were still really good games. First games on the 3DS, but to me, they were kind of the start of the downfall of Pokemon in my mind. That's my personal opinion. Pokemon X and Y, they're good games. They're good games, okay? I still enjoyed them, still replayed them a few times, but they weren't my favorites. I still love my old school Gen 4, Gen 5, and Gen 3. Those are my top 3 generations of Pokemon games. But Pokemon X and Y were still really good, so don't get that wrong. I still love those games, as well as I loved Alpha Sapphire. Remake of Ruby and Sapphire, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I did really enjoy Alpha Sapphire. I didn't like some of the changes that they had made to Alpha Sapphire with mainly the Latios. Latios and Latios. I wish they would have did something cool with the on ticket and everything, like they did back in the day, where it was a distribution, an event distribution. Then you could go to the Eon to use the Eon ticket to travel and end up encountering Latios or Latios after the end of the game. But it was still a really, really good game. I still really enjoyed Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. Honestly, how could I not enjoy them when they're remakes of some of my favorite Pokemon games? So then we got Pokemon Moon, same type deal as Sun, not much to really say there. Still a pretty good game. Very, very different, the Sun and Moon games were from typical Pokemon. So Mario Tennis Open, honestly, one of my favorite Mario sports games. It was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it. I remember playing it lots, and I actually was pretty good at it. I really, really enjoyed playing Mario Tennis Open. Now, this was my very first 3DS game I got. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. I love this game. I've only played it through it maybe twice, but I absolutely love this game. One of my favorite Zelda games in the entire series. Then we got Dragon Ball Fusions. Of course, I already showed the case for this game. I think it's one of the most underrated Dragon Ball games, as well as Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure. Like, I feel like people just haven't heard of Advanced Adventure and Fusions, and there's two of the best Dragon Ball games. They are fantastic. This one's like a tactical RPG type deal, and it's such an incredible game. I highly recommend you guys have to try it. You know, I don't want to spoil anything too much, but you have to try it. You get to create your own character, and you get to play along a bunch of Dragon Ball characters, and it's kind of like, you got some Pokemon type elements too, where it's like trying to collect all the fighters essentially. And yeah, it's an incredible game. Highly recommend you guys check out Dragon Ball Fusions. Then we got Metroid Samus Returns. I was about to say Metroid Return to Samus, but I think that's the old Game Boy name for the original. This is a remake of Metroid 2, and incredible game. I just love the Metroid series. You guys have to play this game. It's phenomenal. They did a lot of... I think this remake was absolutely fantastic. They just did a great job with the entire remake, and that final boss fight against Ridley, absolutely incredible. I love this game, Metroid Samus Returns. Oh, there we go, almost dropped it. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Like I said earlier, phenomenal remake of the original Superstar Saga for the Game Boy Advance. Absolutely incredible game. I love the Mario and Luigi games. So, that game is fantastic. Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D. I love this game. The old Donkey Kong Country games were so much fun, such good side-scrolling platformers, and I just love this game. It was incredible. Donkey Kong Country games, still lots of fun today. Then we got New Super Mario Bros. 2. Still a really, really good game. You know, I love the side-scrolling Mario games, the 2D Mario games, but I didn't enjoy it as much as the first New Super Mario Bros. For the DS. Still a great game, though. Now, here we go. Sonic Generations. This game was fantastic. Even the 3DS version, I absolutely loved. Now, I know I need to, at some point, it's quite cheap. I've been looking at the Xbox 360 version for this game. It's still quite cheap, so I would love to pick it up and then kind of compare what I think of the 3DS version compared to the Xbox 360 version, because I absolutely love this game. It was one of my favorite Sonic games ever. Next, we got Pokemon Ultra Moon. I was very, very disappointed when these games came out, not because these games sucked or anything, but because Sun and Moon really just, like, they really felt like downgraded versions, and it's just like, oh, the Pokemon company could have just released Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun and gave us them at the start. Like, these versions were so much better than Sun and Moon, and it just made Sun and Moon feel, when these games came out, made Sun and Moon feel like such downgraded versions. It's just like, why did you guys not give us this in the first place? But incredible game. I just wish they would have, you know, made Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun, Sun and Moon right from the start. They wouldn't have made them secondary versions. Like, yeah. Anyways, Animal Crossing New Leaf, I remember really, really enjoying. not much to really say there. It's an Animal Crossing game, just kind of a mellow game you can turn on, have some fun with when you're not really wanting to play anything intense. Then we got Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. I remember really enjoying this game. I definitely need to replay it here soon, but one of my favorite handheld Zelda games for sure. And then we got Super Mario 3D Land. I remember really enjoying this game. 3D Mario on a handheld, again, like Super Mario 64 DS. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this game. You know, just an incredible 3D Mario game. And then we got Mario Kart 7. It was an alright Mario Kart game. I remember like enjoying it, but not enjoying it quite as much as Mario Kart DS. And I also would say I like Mario Kart 8 even more than Mario Kart 7. But my favorite Mario Kart for sure is a toss-up between DS and Double Dash. Those are my two favorite Mario Kart games by far. And lastly, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. I need to play this game again because I remember really enjoying it, but yeah, I just need to play it again because I've rewatched all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies recently, and they're honestly so funny. I forgot how much I really enjoyed those movies, and I should really replay this game again because I don't remember too much of it, but I just remember enjoying it lots on the handheld 3DS. So yeah, that is all of my stacks of games. Huge stacks of games, but yeah, like I said, most of these 3DS games I do have cases for. The DS games, I listed off a bunch of those ones that I have cases for. Yeah, I definitely loved the DS and the 3DS, if you guys couldn't tell with all the games I have here. I love these consoles. They were phenomenal handhelds. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys here face to face to close out this video. So yeah, that is my entire Nintendo DS console and game collection, essentially, DS and 3DS. So yeah, I have a lot of games here, as you guys saw. I would say about half of them I have the cases for. Yeah, so I have a bunch of the cases sitting in storage somewhere, but yeah, all these games are incredible. As you guys could definitely tell, I was a huge Pokemon fan when I was a kid, and Mario fan. I pretty much didn't skip any of the Mario games, didn't skip out on any of the Pokemon games, and there was a lot of them there for sure. But yeah, that's my entire collection of DS and 3DS games. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys have any suggestions for any DS or 3DS games I should be looking out for and I should try, then leave them down in the comments below. I always love hearing game suggestions, and I'll definitely look into them and see if they look like something I would enjoy. So anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. And if you did, leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you all in the next one.